Come on. Well, it's another time. Come on in this house. Come on in this house. It's a red hot mic. Cheers to all that you are. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Red Hot Mic. I am your host, Dr. T. Alfred Palmer. Welcome back. Oh! Come on. Woo! You know I love music. I've shared that with you on many occasions. So come on in this house. Come on in. Mic check, mic check, mic check. It's a red hot mic with G. Alfred Palmer coming live to you from our nation's capital. Here we go. That's how we do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Woo. Come on, come on. Woo. Come on now. I am having a good time, and I hope you are too. Come on. Come on. Woo. Well. Welcome to the Red Hot Mic. I'm glad you're with me. Let me fix my chair. Well, I'm back. I am back from vacation. And now we're ready to hit the road again. We've changed the glasses. You know what that means. Oh, yeah. When the glasses change, we change into another band. We change into another man. So I'm glad that you're here with me. Thank you so much for joining me once again for another session, another broadcast on my channel. Welcome to the Red Hot Mic. You know, I want to just, before getting started, I want to say how much I appreciate the opportunity of being able to do this, because it takes a lot of work. First of all, it's taking a lot of work to do, but at the same time, it's really enjoyable. I don't have a real dislike of any part of it. I'm hoping that I can increase my effectiveness in how to do this. It's been something that I've been doing since I was a kid. I directed my first film and filmed my first film when I was in the 7th grade. I was Spike Lee before Spike Lee, I guess. But the bottom line is I'm really excited about being with you. You see the thumbnail, separate but equal, men versus women. I think it's an important topic to talk about, because if you look around what's going on around us now, there's so many problems relative to relationships. People are really having problems getting along, having issues with one another because of this or that. And so what I want to do is, speak to the whole idea of separate but equal, because, we have situations where women say they don't need men. Then you have men who say, I don't want a woman. Everybody has some reason as to why, and I'm a firm believer it comes out of a place of hurt, of rejection, of misunderstanding and misinterpretation. So what I want to do is hopefully bring some peace and a peace offering to both men and women relative to equality. It's going to be different. I've learned one thing, and that is my message isn't what some people think it is, because they haven't had an opportunity to really sit down and talk with me. It's difficult trying to hold conversation over a social media platform. It's hard to do that. So things may come out differently, or maybe misconstrued, misinterpreted, punctuated wrong, whatever. So all those kinds of things happen for real. And so with that happening, what we need to do is just continue to move forward. As we continue to move forward, it'll be, to move forward, I have to be honest. I mean, some people are not I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But who is? I am not everyone's cup of tea. But who is? I'm not going to be liked by everyone. But that's not my aim. I don't want to be liked. I want to be effective. Being effective is much more critical to me, because I think the creator is looking for effectiveness rather than you being liked by people. Being effective means to fulfill the reason why you're here and why you were sent. That's what's most important in my eyes. And to do that, you have to put on blinders sometimes. So you put on blinders. So we want to talk about separate but equal. Men versus women. Cheers to the best of you. Pomegranate juice is my preferred drink here on my channel. And I'm going to do something on the channel about pomegranate juice, because I think it's something that that would really be educational, and not only educational, but something that I think that will speak volumes relative to how we can get better health, health-wise. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for today. Today what we're going to talk about is separate but equal, men versus women, because of all of the infighting, the jealousy, the disrespect. Now, I've been accused of being disrespectful. I've been accused of a lot of things. But it's really not intended that way. Because that's not my goal. But I can go there if I have to. And I think it's important for folks to know that you can and will if needed. But that's not what I want to do. Okay? That's really not what I want to do. So let's start it by talking about this whole idea of separate but equal. Now, I remember being a young person born during the civil rights movement. I remember during the civil rights movement that there was the idea of separate but equal. Schools were to be separate but equal. Housing was to be separate but equal. Everything was supposed to be separate but equal, but it wasn't. It wasn't separate. It was separate, but it wasn't equal. It was separate, but it was not equal. Which is important to understand, that what that does is it develops a mentality, a mindset, a paradigm relative to what you hear when you hear the words separate but equal. And when you hear separate but equal, we go back to those times where it was separate but wasn't equal. So it has a negative connotation to it. And being that it's a negative connotation, regardless of what's said, it doesn't come across, it doesn't have a good taste. It doesn't go down right. But when it comes to the creator's idea of separate but equal, it's a different idea. What we've got to understand is this: separate but equal does not denigrate or disrespect anyone. But what it does do is it helps us to understand that we need each other. Now, I've heard this, and I've even said it, that men don't need women. Now, there are some areas that's true. This is not one of them. This is not one of them. Men do need women. We do. We need them in the area which I'm going to be talking about now. Okay? In the area that I'm going to be talking about now. You know, when we talk about separate but equal, one of the things that come to mind is freedom. Freedom to be who you want to be. Freedom to live the way that you want in any space. That's important, to be able to live and be. Freedom. Equality. Equality gives us freedom. And freedom gives us equality. And that's important to have. In Latin, ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus. I may be pronouncing it wrong. Ceteris paribus is equal but different. Equal but different. It's important to understand that we are equal but different. And it's because when we hear that, you know, that when you hear men say, I don't need a woman, or I don't need a man, or a man saying, when we hear a man say, I don't need a woman, or a woman say, I don't need a man, what that does is it sends out negative connotations, negative imagery. It points and takes jugs at low self-esteem, poor self-image. And so when we hear those things, do we really mean it? In most cases, I don't think so. But I want to help you. I want to help those that would hear me, because I'm here and I want you to hear and not listen. You know, my background is in philosophy, counseling, psychology, what else? Management and administration, and theology. So those are some of the areas that I've been trained in. But that's not important. Being trained in the area doesn't make you formally being trained or educationally trained doesn't necessarily make you an expert. What it does is makes you a parrot. You can be. It makes us a parrot to those who trained us. But if we learn how to gain knowledge from the Creator and how to implement that knowledge, there's definitely some differences that'll take place. I don't want to be long-winded, but I want to talk about the whole idea of why we're separate but equal. And again, because of my theological training, I use that as my foundation. And I know people will say, well, that means you're religious. No, I'm not, because the biblical narrative is not a religious book. It's been made a religious book. There are many documents that were meant to address certain specific areas but was taken, hijacked, if you will, into others. The biblical narrative is not a religious book. The biblical narrative is a manual for living. And it is a manual for living for all those that would hear, believe, and receive. But for those that would not, it will be a religious book. So for some people, what I'm going to say will sound religious. But there are religious people that will totally agree that what I'm going to say is not religious. People will understand that this is more spiritual than religious. And they will understand that there's some philosophy, some psychology as well in it. And that's what I want to bring to the table, because I think that's what's needed in this hour when we start looking at relationship. We're having problems getting along. We're having problems becoming unified. And it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. So I'm going to go back into the biblical narrative, and I'm going to go to the book of beginnings. It's called Genesis. And in the book of Genesis, which means the book of beginnings, it talks about the creation of man, the creation of man, of humanity, or of Adam. All humanity was created in Adam first. Adam in the Hebrew is the word Adam, which means man. Adam was an individual as well. Individuals. We are his children. We are the offspring of Adam. Every man, woman, and child that has ever lived is an offspring of Adam. Now, that's not to say that you're not your parents' child. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about from the beginning. All humanity comes from Adam. Adam was created. The word created in the Hebrew is the word bara. Bara, B-A-R-A, bara. Bara is a verb, which is an action word, and it means to shape. It means to form. It means to cut out. It means to create. But it's not in the literal sense. It's cognitively. How to do that cognitively before the natural piece. See, there has to be an intellectual, mental part before there can be that of a physical one, because the physical is the offspring of the cognitive. So Adam was created. He was shaped, formed. He was first shaped and formed in the mind of the Creator. And it tells us that we were born, or we were created in his image and after his likeness. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean God's a man? No. It means God is creation of all things. So that means that as God is, so are we in this world. But on a lower degree, Adam was created, which demonstrated a close relationship with the Creator. Adam had a close relationship with the Creator. And he was created. Adam was created in the mind and by the hands of the Creator. Now, the Creator gave Adam lead to be in the Garden of Eden, and in the Garden of Eden, Adam named everything. Adam became connected with everything. Adam became associated with everything. Adam began to see and understand his connectedness with all things. But that connectedness was missing some part. And that was that he could see that there was a fullness in all the creation that there was made, that there was a yin and a yang, a male and a female, of everything but of him. He could not find an equal to himself. So the Creator told Adam, it's not good for you to be all one or all alone. So Adam was put to sleep, and a rib was taken out of his side. Now I've heard so many people talk about what that means. I'm not going to go into it. You've heard it too. But the bottom line is, the bone that was taken means that she was bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh, DNA of his DNA. That's why she was called woman, which stands for wound man. She had a womb, but she came from Adam, just like Adam came from the Creator, but yet at a lesser degree was the same as the Creator. So Eve was Adam at a lesser degree, and in addition to, had a womb. Now that's important. It's important. It's important for this reason. When we look at how babies are born, before a baby is born, there is the idea of energy. Energy that is manifested in one or two areas: masculinity and femininity. Masculinity and femininity. Masculinity and femininity are critical essence that we are all a part of. Now, why is that? Because your purpose, which is the reason why you were born, has to be manifested in a body. Purpose and masculinity, purpose and femininity has to be manifested in a body. Why? Because everything in this sphere has to have and lawfully operate under the premise of having a body. If you have no body, you cannot operate on this sphere. That's how death is. Once a person's body is no longer works in this sphere, they leave, because you are unlawfully in this sphere. That's why there's no ghost, there's no demons. They cannot operate and function in this sphere. It's unlawful. Now, what can happen, and what we need to understand, is this: that when a person ceases to live or have a body here, the body goes back to its source, which is dust. Because you came from dust, you go back to dust. The body goes back to dust. But what happens with the essence? It returns to its source. Some people want to argue about heaven and hell. Those are religious concepts. I have no use for those. But I do have use for the idea that your body returns to the earth and your essence returns to its source. So while you're here, and so the source, in order for your masculinity and purpose to come here, it needs a body to be lawful. That body, that purpose, is connected with that masculinity, because that masculinity is the way that you're going to implement purpose on the earth. Okay. Your body is feminine because it's the way that you're supposed to receive purpose in the earth. Now, watch this. Masculinity is designed to do several things. And I think it's important that we understand these, because it will help shape some things. Masculinity inserts, injects, penetrates, and pierces. That's what masculinity does. Masculinity, I'll say it again. Masculinity inserts, injects, penetrates, and pierces. That's what masculinity does. If you're not able to inject, insert, and penetrate and pierce, you are not a male. You are not masculine. And the reason that your masculinity came into this sphere in the body that it did is because it is a type and shadow of the intended mode that you are to bring purpose into this earth. Thus, if you are masculine, you will, in your body, you will have masculine features. Masculine features would entail broad shoulders, broad feet, sturdy legs, sturdy back, strong legs, strong arms. But even more so, you have to have that particular instrument that pierces, injects, penetrates, and inserts. It's called a penis. The penis is a type and shadow of the masculine energy that you bring. If thou don't have a penis, thou art not a man. Okay? Now let's flip the coin over. When we look at femininity also is an essence be implemented in this sphere with a body. And the body that is implementing this has to be equipped with feminine characteristics. And those things also show us how a woman is to function here on earth. Now, when we talk about femininity or feminine, we talk about that which receives, that which is filled, that which is incubated, and that which nurtures. That's what women are designed to do. She is wombed man, and the womb enables her to incubate seed. In the natural, it's the man seed, but in the spiritual and in the metaphysical realm, it is the seed of purpose. So, why does a man need a woman? A man needs a woman to help fulfill purpose. A woman needs man to help fulfill purpose. Now, understand this. A man is a visionary. That means purpose has vision for him. Purpose has vision for him. Vision is purpose in picture form. Now, a woman's purpose is not the same. A woman's purpose is to receive the seed of purpose. She doesn't inject or insert or penetrate. She is penetrated, inserted, and injected with purpose. She nurtures it. She incubates it. And she brings it about in the fullness of time. You give a woman groceries, she'll give you a meal. You give her a house, she'll give you a home. You give her hell, she'll give you more hell. So the bottom line is what she's going to do is the seed of what we give her, gentlemen, she will incubate. But here's the thing. Not any woman will do. See, because a woman's purpose, she still has a connectedness in her womb with a certain seed. That's why some women will be connected with you more than others. And there's going to be one that will be connected with you more than any other. And it's called a wife. And it's interesting to understand that in the Hebrew, the word wife and the word woman are the same words. A wife is a woman. A woman is a wife. A woman is a wife and a wife is a woman. A woman is a wife before she's a wife. A woman is a wife before she's a woman. Because, well, not so much, but I mean, you get the gist. She is a woman before, a woman is a wife before she's a wife. And it's important to understand that a woman is a wife before she's a wife. So it's important to understand that a man is a visionary. And vision comes in a seed. A woman has a womb, and the womb is a place of incubation. Some women don't want to be an incubator. They want to be the inserter. They want to be the penetrator. They want to be the one that pierces. You cannot do that. You're not equipped for that. You have a womb. I don't care what kind of surgeries you get. You still have a womb. Even though you've done away with it in the natural, still in the metaphysic and the spiritual realm and in the cognitive, you are a woman. And it's the same way with you, fellas. Regardless of what you do, you can cut off the penis, you can disregard it, you can get rid of the testicles and do whatever you want, but still the essence of you is a man. You will always be a man because that's what the universe sent you here to be. You cannot change that. Now let me say this about woman and man. A man is a visionary. Now it's important to understand that a man is one who sees. He's the one who sees. But the man is not fully equipped. It was taken from him to be able to fully bring it to fruition. That's the piece that you're missing, fellas, that she has. You need her to fulfill purpose. You need her to fulfill purpose. Now, I want to say this. Purpose in a dream is not the same, nor is purpose and passion the same. We're going to talk about those differences. They're not the same. Purpose is the reason why you were born. Every product is born or created with one purpose. Now the question is, what is your purpose? Well, for most of us, we don't know because of what's happened in our lives. We're going to talk about that as well. I want to share with you why you cannot and why many people have not found purpose. And they're trying to pass off passion as purpose, and it doesn't work. And you'll see that in so many people when they commit suicide, when everybody else thought that they had reached the pinnacle of success, and they're depressed and hurt or harm themselves. They hurt or harm themselves because they think that this could not be all that there is, because it isn't. There's a difference between purpose and passion. We're going to talk more about it. Ceteris paribus, equal but different. She is equal to you, but different. But what does that mean? What does that mean to be equal but different? Well, from a mathematical standpoint, or just 6 plus 4 equals 10. But so does 5 plus 5 equal 10. Different, but equal. Different, but equal. There's a reason for that. Why did the Creator separate man and take the rib and make woman? Because the Creator said it's not good, it's not beneficial, it's not right for man to be all one. And that's for you too, ladies. You cannot be all one. You are not fulfilled being alone. And all of these stipulations and everything you put on a man, all you're doing is diminishing your opportunities. I dare say that, and I've said this on other social media platforms, you've already met your husband, ladies. You've already met him. And for some reason, you chose not. You chose to find fault not to marry him. Or he saw something in you and decided not to marry you. But the bottom line is this. You need him, and he needs you. Well, I want to say this as well, and this is where I was going. A man is a visionary. The word woman in the Hebrew is the word bana, B-A-N-A, bana, bana, bana. The word bana means builder. She's a builder by nature. She's a builder. What does she build? She builds in her womb. Her womb allows it to build whatever it is. She builds it in by her mentality. She builds by her effort. She builds by her cognition. She builds. That's what she does. But there's a difference between a woman and a female. And that's what where guys, you're making a mistake. You're choosing females instead of women. We're going to talk about women, the difference between women and females as we continue. But I'll just say is this. There's a difference between the cognitive, emotional, mental abilities of both and development of both. Abilities and development. More development than abilities. Well, equally. But there's a difference between women and females, just like there's a difference between men and males. They're not the same. But we'll get more into that. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. I'm hoping that you got something from it. And again, Ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus. Equal but different. Until the next time we come together, this is Dr. G. Alpha Palmer saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again the next time we come around. So that's, you know how we do. You know how we like to just well, until the next time. Peace.